What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. We are finally off here, a few minutes late for sure. Chris Meaney, another edition here of Dangle Bet Celly without my guy Eric Young for another Thursday. We had a guest lined up today. It did not work out, and I have had some issues here on my end. From a technical standpoint, I don't know. I've been in and out of power this morning, and trying to get StreamYard working here has had some issues. So appreciate you guys being patient with me. I see a bunch of people in the chat already. We're going to get after it. It's a 14-game slate in the NHL. Usually we roll through all the games. We can do that and roll through all the games if you guys want, with a little bit of a betting angle, fantasy hockey angle, and NHL just overall general angle. I really wanted to get somebody to join me here today. 14 games is a lot to dive into, and we want to produce a couple winners here on this show. So I may just start with probably my top few picks. I'll reference ftnbets.com. We have the article over there for free. It should be live here soon. And FTN Daily with some NHL DFS thoughts as well. I know that Lee already has the article live over there. If you're looking for some Prize Picks action, we got you covered over at FTN. You want to be in our Prize Picks Discord channel, head on over to FTN Daily, click the Discord up at the top in the chat, and get yourself in there. Lots of great hockey convos happening all the time. And we still have promo code Meaney there. Save yourself a little bit of cash if you want to be part of the betting family. Man, yesterday was rough. It's been a couple rough days, honestly. I was all over the Kings last night. I was all over the Kings in 60. I had them on the puck line. Had Kopitar to score with Kempe, and it looked like they did. I don't know about, just a little bit of a rant off the top. I don't know how you guys feel about the offside rule. Like, Kopitar was clearly offside, but they were in the Washington Capitals zone for about a minute and a half, just complete pressure, cycling the puck around. I don't know. I would like to see some sort of change. Maybe I'm alone in this, but I'd like to see, like, if it's offside, can we have like some sort of like, after 30 seconds it's not offside anymore, or is that just silly? Like, it kind of sounds silly saying it. Like, dude, if it's offside, it's offside. What are you even talking about? But if it's a minute and a half, 2 minutes in the opposing zone, like, is it still offside? I don't know. I feel weird saying it, but maybe it's just because I got burned last night. The Kings are all over the Capitals. They had no business losing that game. I was in on the goal and the assist, and then it was just offside by a millimeter. But I just find it a little strange that you can go back and review like 2 minutes or something before. Anyways, it was offside. We got burned. We're hoping to bounce back here today. But with 14 games in the slate, we got to condense our picks. We can't just roll through. And I want to make this show less confusing as possible. It's better when it's EY and me, and we can go back and forth. And we're still going to recap at the end. But I want to start strong with my favorite few props and picks, and then we can dive into the rest of it. Okay. I want to say what up to the crew here, as we normally do. Adam Schmansky, what's up? Good morning, dude. Welcome in. Evan, so boys, how we fixing the card today? Have Panthers in 60 Vetrano shots. Vetrano's been a beast. I mean, I think he's minus 185 for 3 shots tonight. It's getting crazy. Shot props are it's just getting a little bit too much. Even our guy Sam Bennett, we had some fun with Bennett for a couple of days, like minus 110, minus 125. I see this morning like minus 140 is the shortest I'm seeing for Sam Bennett. But we'll help you try to fix the card. I think we did okay with some dogs last on Tuesday potentially. Arizona, we talked about the Leafs. If you went with the Leafs, it's good for you. I know that it was a little tough for me. It's tough for me to pick the Leafs, man. 5 regulation wins for this team this year, but they did find a way to beat the Panthers there. And the Oilers continue to roll. I think that's one that we had, the Edmonton Oilers in the over, but we'll help try to fix the car here today for sure. Evan, welcome in, dude. Jazz in the house. Good morning, Pucksters. Hope you get that taken care of. That does suck. Absolutely, man. Don't like to see it. These shot on goal props seem so easy, but these players are on one night and cold the next night. Yeah, they are. I think we definitely did not have a good night last night. On Caulfield we talked on Mean Streets about Caulfield scoring a goal, but we had him for 4 shots, had Marchenko for 3, had Boone Jenner for 3 and a point. And we got Werenski point, got Matheson. But it was mostly a lot of my hard-earned bucks was on the Kings last night. And I just think it was, Charlie Lindgren played great. He's been fantastic all year. But LA should have won that game by a couple goals. Panthers and Avalanche parlay last night. Dude, yeah, your Blue Jackets, man. Veronikov does look good. You got the little bit of a Russian connection there. Congrats on the Brewskis at the Islanders game. Yeah, we'll drink some bats and we'll watch the Isles play hockey. I want to start with Florida in a second, but certainly on the Florida Panthers tonight against the Canadiens. I'll say it for the Habs fans out there. Slafkovsky's played pretty good over the past couple of games. I mean, that line looks okay. Dvorak and Slafkovsky and Cole Caulfield, I had written them up over in the DFS world, and they did contribute with a goal. Slav had a couple shots and Caulfield as well, and they all connected on a point. But another tough loss. Troy, I know you probably heard on social media, but all the Oilers scouts again at the Columbus and Montreal game. I tell you what, if the Edmonton Oilers think they're going to fix their goaltending problems by watching or getting anybody from the Blue Jackets or the Habs, they're sadly mistaken. It's just not. But Montembeau's done some good things. I think I would rank them Allen, Merzlikins, Montembeau, but I don't think that, again, Allen wasn't even playing last night. So it probably is Montembeau thereafter. We'll see. But yeah, Troy had a little side bet, beers at the Islanders game. That's his prize, but also I hate the Islanders, so it's just a joy to watch. $30 lower bowl. Here we come. Okay, we're going to get going here. I see some people in the house, diehard. Yeah, anybody else with the Kings? Morning, everybody. Payne Kings didn't win. I bet them live at plus 160. I mean, I don't know how they didn't win that game last night. I guess it's lingering. Say what you will. The Caps goalie has been great. Caps not giving up any goals. No, they're not. They're not. Of course, they lose to San Jose and then they beat LA. But Lindgren's been, he's been great. Been over the hood of my car trying to fix as I watch. We do appreciate the support there for sure. Nyquist was nice the other night, Mikey Boy G. So we're getting some things right. It's just with 14 games on the ice, I can easily sit here and give you 30 picks and we get half of them right. There's no good of that. Let's try to narrow it down to 5 to 7 here. We'll still roll through the games and recap some thoughts as well. If I thought the car was breaking down as bad last night, was atrocious for me. Oh yeah, Kings really. It sounds like we were all in the Kings last night. So let's get that out of our minds and let's take a look at tonight. Like boom, hello. The NHL schedule continues to be just bonkers. I don't like the 3 games on the Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays and the 14 games. It's a lot. I mean, I love me some hockey, obviously, but it really is a lot to kind of digest here. So kind of quick thoughts here in terms of maybe best odds on the board. Like, look at the Bruins at minus 457. Actually see minus 522 in some spots out there. The best number is minus 40. We're not betting the Bruins tonight. We can't do this. We can't do it on the puck line. Bruins have actually been cold and the Sharks have been hot. So I it's the NHL. Anything can happen. If what we don't suggest, minus 500 plays on this show, but any given night, I think an NHL team can win a hockey game at 4-1 for the San Jose Sharks, maybe worth just like $5. I don't know, a little bit of a sprinkle or something like that. I'd say the Bruins win the game. I'd say it's an under. Not going to spend any more time really on this one as we roll through them. I don't really have any favorite plays. I do have Pasternak actually in the bet tracker for 5 shots on goal. We've been taking Zaka for a point. He's been around even minus 130, but he's now minus 170, minus 180 to pick up a point tonight. Pavel Zaka. I'd say there's value maybe on the assist for Zaka. I mean, Charlie Coyle's been pretty hot. If you're looking for a goal scorer, you're looking for a long shot goal scorer, Charlie Coyle's been decent there. But Pavel Zaka plus 110 for an Apple is probably maybe the best play inside this game. Zaka assists, Pasternak for 5 shots. But that's not really where I wanted to start, but I just wanted to reference that game because probably won't dive into it again at, the biggest favorite on the board. Could get a fun one in Vegas and Vancouver tonight. Canucks have scoring some goals. Vegas has shuffled their lines a bit. I really like Stone and Stevenson and Eichel together as a trio, and Carlson and Marchessault back together. So fun little slate. We'll get after it here. I want to start with Montreal and Florida. The Panthers actually are my favorite play on the board tonight. I know the Canadians won last night and 3-2 on the road trip, but they just had that lengthy West Coast road trip, and they wrapped up last night in Columbus. And no shots fired, Troy. No disrespect, but I'm not super impressed with the Habs beating the Blue Jackets. They beat them twice this year. They only have like 4 regulation wins. Montreal, that is. They're still giving up a lot of quality chances. They really turn the puck over a lot in their own zone, and they live in the penalty box. So last night for me in the tracker, I'm not sure the latest number, guys. The prop shot parlay calculator tools that are free over at ftmbets.com. You guys are well aware of this, but I am drinking a little bit of juice on the Panthers in 60 at -150. I put that in as a 2-unit play for me. So we're really all in. We're not tilting on the Kings last night. We are trying to fix cars, but we're also trying to pay the bills, maybe a Christmas gift or two for a loved one. Most of all, just try to create a distraction in what is the crazy world out there that we live in. But the Panthers on the puck line as well for me. I think this is probably a better play than in 60. You don't have to drink all that juice. Last night, +115. I still think I see +105 out there over at Bet365. I got Sam Bennett for 3 shots. Bennett's our guy. We're big fans of Bennett on this show. He loves to shoot the puck. Big fight last night, beat up Domi, and then Domi had to chirp him about not having any hair. I thought there was a low blow by Max Domi. Like, dude, you lost the fight for one, and who cares if Bennett doesn't have any hair? He's a better hockey player than you. He's tougher than you. Anyways, Domi's jokes. Sam Bennett, 3 shots, -145. Price aside, it's my favorite shot prop probably of the night. I do like Vetrano. That was mentioned earlier. I do like Carter Verhaeghe, who's hanging around some books at 2.5. The biggest thing with Florida is they're going to get some power plays here. Like the Canadians just take penalties. So Montour as well, starting to shoot. We referenced him in the last episode. He's at the similar price at -140. So there's juice with these two Panther players, but I certainly like them. I also like Montour to pick up a point tonight at -125. I think Bennett at similar price is certainly in play. Over at Bet365, we talk about the point prop parlays in the same game parlays for some of these, especially the Florida Panthers. I think you can do milestone stuff if there's one at 1.5, but these guys are all at just 1 point tonight. So I would probably go. There's 2 that I like in particular. Barkov with Reinhart. So I'm just writing these down because I'll recap at the end. But starting strong here for me, anyways, is what I like the most tonight. So Barkov and Reinhart for a point at +100. That's over at Bet365. And then I like Verhaeghe and Tkachuk. Verhaeghe and Tkachuk, and that one is +115. So all 4 of those guys are on the first power play. You got Bennett, you got Montour on there as well on the power play. So I've said this sometimes, proceed with caution. You can have some fun. We did hit 11-1 Florida Panthers same game parlay the other night against the Ottawa Senators, and I would go back to it tonight in what is another plus matchup. So I'd go. You could just do the big 4: Tkachuk, Verhaeghe, Barkov, and Reinhart. That's +260. You can take them as just the Barkov and Reinhart at +100, Verhaeghe and Tkachuk at +115. Then, if you wanted to, you could get a little crazy and go Bennett and Montour. Then you got all 5 of those guys, or 6 of those guys, excuse me, in there. It's basically the entire top 6 minus Evan Rodriguez, who's been a little quiet lately. So I would take those. And then, you could get a little nuts as well. Add that's +850 for those 6. You can go shot on goal milestones, even if you just take 2s, say Bennett for 2, Verhaeghe. We may have to do Verhaeghe for 3, Bennett for 2, Verhaeghe for 3, and Montour for 2. Then you're at 16-1. You get even more nuts. You add Matthew Tkachuk. Actually, we'll just leave it at that. We don't need to get too crazy here. We're trying to fix the car. We want some winners. We don't need to get too insane here. But I got a 16-1 here that I like and that I'll put in the tracker. I'll bet myself. It'll be Barkov, Verhaeghe, Tkachuk, Reinhart, Bennett, Montour points. Bennett 2+ shots, Montour 2+ shots, and Carter Verhaeghe 3+ shots. So yeah, I'm all in on the Florida Panthers tonight. It's a little chalky. They have the third highest team implied total today. It starts with Boston, and then actually Detroit, which I think is interesting, and then Florida. I would have Florida over Detroit in terms of game stacks. It is my favorite line stack tonight is line 2 in the DFS world. I like Bennett, Kachuk, and Verhaeghe, and I like them with Montour. I think that, like I said, I think the Panthers are going to get some power plays. We don't need to dive into the Habs. Florida wins the game. I'd say like a 4-1, 5-2. Could get a little greasy. It's Primo and net tonight, and I'm not just sitting here picking on the Habs, yada yada. I have this. This is what I do usually when a team comes back from a long road trip like this, especially if they played last night on the road too. Like they went into Boston, Anaheim, San Jose, LA, played last night in Columbus. Now they got to play at home against a Panthers team that's just been waiting for them. And they've been playing really good hockey, and they're getting stronger with Montour and Bennett back. And yeah, they played a good game against the Leafs the other night. They spanked Ottawa. So they just been hanging around, waiting at the Bell Center and see. Hopefully they didn't go out to St. Catherine Street and have too many pops last night. But all right, that's where we're at. So we went pretty long on that game, but I think it was necessary. We get this. We get all these Panthers. We're fixing the cars. We're fixing cars for sure. New Jersey and Philadelphia. I think we referenced. We've been talking about milestones and same game parlay stuff quite a bit this year and last year as well. And milestones actually just came out over at Bet365. But we did have Jack Hughes the other night for 7 shots on goal. We milestoned it up to 7. Should have did 9. The guy had 9 shots, like a true psycho that he is. And he's been shooting the puck like a madman. I don't know how we can't like just ride this trend out. Like ever since he returned from the injury, it's been 5 games, 8 shots, 1, 8, 6, and 9. He's coming off a 3-point night. He's got 4 points over the last 2 games. He's just shooting so much. I know the Flyers have been really good at 5-5 and eliminating high danger chances and quality chances at 5-5. They've been playing some pretty good hockey here. Jumped on the Devils last night. I see minus 141 for New Jersey. Actually, wow, it's okay. It's turning in the other direction. As you see on the board, minus 155 for the New Jersey Devils, but you can get them right now at minus 137. I just see a lot of desperation in their game. I see a team that's outside of a playoff spot. I see a team that struggled a lot without their top 2 centers, which is obviously, no surprise. But man, 7-2 against the Sabres, 5-4 against the Islanders. So they've scored 12 goals. They broke out against the Sabres. They got the Sharks tomorrow night as well. My goodness. So I like the Devils here, despite the game being on the road. The Panthers or the Flyers playing pretty good hockey. I'm jumping in. I like that minus 137 for New Jersey. We got to write that. That's after the Panthers puck line in 60. That's my second favorite side of the night. And I'm going to jump on Hughes at over 4.5 shots. If you just take away like some juice and stuff, like I like Hughes for a 2.9. I think it's plus 124. I like Toffoli to hit the score sheet tonight. I would say it happens via the goal. He's just too juiced to take as a single, but in a 4 or 5 same game parlay, I would put, how EY does goals. Maybe we do like a 5-leg point parlay tonight. And the first guy we'll put on is Verhaeghe. And the second guy we're going to put on here is Toffoli. I like Dawson Mercer for a point. He's plus 100 for a point. He's just playing with Toffoli and with Jack Hughes. And he picked up a point the other night. The shot on goal for Jack Hughes is, the milestone stuff is probably not going to be worth your time soon, but we can have some fun with it. For 6, he's plus 265. For 5 shots, he's plus 500. For 8 shots, he's 8-1. And for 9 shots, he's 13-1. Again, I'll just reference that he has at least 8 shots on goal in 3 of his 5 games since returning, and he's had at least 6 shots in 4 of those 5 games. So we like him for the 4.5. We like him to get to 5. what's another shot or two, and just the way that he's shooting the puck. So maybe a little bit of sprinkle, some pizza money on him to have 6 shots at plus 265, 7 shots at 5-1, 8 shots at 8-1. That's probably as high as I'd go. Only went as high as 7. Honestly, as high as I'd go is 7 at 5-1, but you can put the smallest amount on the 8 shots and 9 shots and just see, man, you hit a 13-1. It doesn't really matter how the rest of your night goes. On the other side, I like Cam Atkinson. The Devils don't give up a whole lot. I know some of their numbers are a touch skewed because of, being without their top 2 centers. But Cam Atkinson's a guy that we talked about even last week again, or on Tuesday against the Hurricanes. We talked about how it was a really tough matchup. No team had allowed fewer shots and shot attempts in the month of November than the Hurricanes at 5-5, and Cam Atkinson still got it done. So it's 4 straight games where he's had at least 4 shots, and he's been hitting pretty consistently. You can go back to last month. He got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of his last 11 hockey games Cam Atkinson has hit. So we certainly like Cam, and we'll continue to ride him out. Like the Devils to win the game. I always like to go back to the comments here and just see what if there's any questions on some of these games. So it's been a minute since I went back. What do we got here? I agree. Meaney Columbus has a lot of trouble getting the puck out of their own zone. Yeah, both teams, right? They were both pretty sloppy last night. Troy Bennett might have any hair, but Domi is lucky he's not missing any teeth. Yeah, he is, right? Because Bennett put it to him last night. Is Jack Hughes the best player in the NHL this season? Quinn Hughes deserves some love. Mikhail Makar is like quietly still like 1 or 2 in points per game. McDavid's picked it up, but he's went through some moments. Yeah, Jack Hughes I think he's been the best, right? I mean, Jack Hughes is our guy here on this show. Last year, we 4th round, 5th round pick. We talked about him being a 100-point player. I think he was 1 point shy of it. And this year, he moved into the first round conversation, and it's warranted, right? From a dynasty standpoint, a keeper league standpoint, I would rank him like top 3 or 4. I don't see him slowing down at any point. He's awesome. Yeah, he's fantastic. You just hope that he can stay healthy because injuries have kind of creeped up. He's tiny. Like this, put on some weight at the gym, but it's the only knock that I have on him, and that's not even fair to say. He's so good. Yeah, he's fantastic. Let's over to Toronto here. They got the Leafs at home. What are we at here? The 22-minute mark. Seattle, the Kraken. Both of these teams struggling to find regulation wins. I think they're both in the bottom 5 when it comes to wins in regulation. The Maple Leafs and the Seattle Kraken. Not a whole lot that I like from this game. I do like Toronto to win the hockey game at minus 175. It's a tough one to put some money on. I do see a little bit of better hockey from the top line, and McCann, the former Leaf, right? Is a Leaf for a second, right? They should have hung on to him and got rid of Kerfoot. I think they made the trade for Kraken, right, and left him. Made the trade for McCann and then left him unprotected. But he's definitely better than Kerfoot. That might have been a little bit of an oops. Nylander's hot. Nylander's hot. He's having the most consistent season for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but. I can get behind the minus 129. That's over at Bet Rivers, 3.5 shots. I don't want to do too much in this game because the Kraken are stingy. They don't give up a whole lot. The Leafs are giving up more quality chances this season than they have in the past couple of years. I thought they really tightened up their 5-5 game last year, but this year they are not among the leaders, but they're in like the top half in terms of allowing, shot attempts, 13th in shot attempts allowed, roughly the same. 13th in shots. And they weren't really getting the goaltending earlier on, but the scoring chances, they're inside the top 15. The high danger chances, they're actually inside the top 10. They've allowed them the 8th most high danger chances at 5-5 per 60. And some of those teams that are inside here, they're all struggling, really. The Blackhawks, the Sharks, the Coyotes are getting some good goaltending from Connor Ingram. The Blues got some good goaltending. They've been getting some decent goaltending, but they're giving up a lot of quality chances. The Sens, the Islanders, the Habs, and the Capitals are in there too. And we talked about them earlier, getting some quality chances or saves from like Lindgren and company. Anyways, I don't have a whole lot here. I like William Nylander. If I'm picking a goal scorer from this game, it would be Nylander. Again, he's been the most consistent Leaf. I don't mind that second line with Bertuzzi and Tavares, but I think I have a lean to the under here. And the Kraken are not scoring a ton of goals, and they can be stingy. They could maybe keep the puck out of their net. They're not getting fantastic goaltending, but I think they're a little bit more sound 5-5 than the Maple Leafs. Jared McCann, I go to minus 112, 3 shots is okay. I like the point a little bit better for McCann. Put McCann here on the board at minus 110. We've been taking him. It's been inconsistent, but I for a guy that's on the top line and he's a shooter on the power play, you can't get too many first line wingers and triggermen on a top power play at basically even money for a point. So that's where I'll go for the Kraken. All right, let's keep going here. Man, there's so much action here tonight. Edmonton at Winnipeg. I like the Oilers to continue to roll. They gave up a couple late goals against the Golden Knights. They found a way to win the game in a shootout. They're playing better hockey. They're still not getting good goaltending. McDavid obviously is turned the corner and he's picking up a ton of points. The Jets have played really good this season. The Jets have played really good really from the start of the season. That top line has been really good for Winnipeg, 7-3 in their last 10. Velarde's close to returning. I don't think it's tonight, but he was close to returning on Tuesday. Yeah, 12-7-2 Winnipeg, sitting third in the Central, and the Oilers at 8-12-1. They got 17 points, so they need all the W's that they can get. Vander Kane, no revenge. It's not about the revenge, the narrative, but that's always a fun one. But Vander Kane plus 110 for 4 shots here tonight. He's just been shooting a lot. And there's a few Oilers that are shooting a lot, but Kane is coming in playing the best hockey of the season at the moment. He was dropped in a lot of leagues. I think he had one goal in his first 8 or 9 games, but he's coming in riding a 3-game goal streak. He's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goals in his last 7 games. He's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points over that span. He actually has points in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of his last 10 games. And he's really shooting. And he's one of the better banger leagues players in the NHL when it comes to fantasy hockey leagues. Like 7 hits in his last game, 10 in the game before that. He's racked up 17 hits. Like that's enough to win you a week in those categories. 17 hits and the shots 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 5, 4. So the attempts are there, 6 to 7 attempts any given night for him. So I'm going to take the over 3.5 shots at plus 110. That number is over at DraftKings. It is one of my favorites. I'd put that one in kind of the top 5 here. So we'll go Kaner. And it sounds like Patrick could play in like 7 to 10 days, by the way. Patrick Kane for the Red Wings, maybe in Montreal this Saturday. I don't know, it's possible. But I was unsure of that. I think on Tuesday it could have been a couple weeks, but it's not going to be a couple weeks. That's really it for me. Just kind of keeping the plays simple. A few, you could definitely get involved with a Kyle Connor goal. The 2-point night for McDavid, a Bouchard point. I like the over actually in this game. This is the way that the Oilers are playing hockey lately. This one's not bad. Bouchard for an assist. Bouchard assist at minus 110. I'd probably do the same thing with Josh Morrissey because I do expect the over. So 7 goals. Josh Morrissey's also minus 110 for the assist. Get a couple power plays. If we get 7 goals here in this game, we'll get a couple of these point props as well. And just looking for ones that are decent, not, minus 140 for a point overall. Morrissey's not bad, but I'll take the assist because I think it probably comes via the assist. We'll go over to Vancouver here now. We got the Golden Knights who are struggling. We talked about their struggles when they played the Edmonton Oilers. Again, they came back in that game and made a game of it, but they are struggling. It's just a little bit of a regression. That's all. I mean, you can't be perfect all year. They're still fine. Like their 5-5 numbers are great, but without Alec Martinez, without Shea Theodore, they're touched thin on the blue line. The Canucks, we've seen a little bit of regression in their game as well. Um, Ever since the loss, I thought, to the Sharks, actually, maybe in a couple games before that. Yeah, they lost against the Flames, the Kraken. They did beat San Jose, and then they lost to Colorado, beat Seattle, and then lost to the Sharks. They won the other night 3-1. I thought they played pretty good. Um, Brock Besser continues to score. I don't know, like, how can we shy away from this guy? I mean, he's got 17 goals in the season. I still view him as a sell high candidate, but it's so tough to trade a guy like that who's just scoring goals for you left, right, and center. Again, back-to-back games with 2 goals. He's got 17 on the season. He's got an alarming shooting percentage that is just completely unsustainable this season at 26.2%. For his career, he's at 13. He's been at the 16 range 3 times in his career. I mean, he's a guy that has flirted with 30 goals a bunch of times, but 1 goal tonight, and he ties what he did last season over 74 games, which would give him 18. I mean, he's certainly on his way to a 40-goal campaign if he can play 70 plus games. But yeah, how do you shy away from Brock Besser and what he's doing on the power play, scoring goals? The power play's whipping it around. I do like Brock again tonight. I think the shot prop is in play as well for him, just because of some of the things that I said on the power play. And it's at a decent price at minus 118 for Brock Besser. I think that line scores again, like Brock and JT Miller. I think they're in on the action. Quinn Hughes as well. Quinn Hughes, just the puck on his stick all the time. It seems like he's skating around in circles. He's jumping up in the rush. He's jumping up in the play. He finds ways to kind of get through the shots through on the point on the power play. He kind of straddles that line. Man, he's fun to watch. 2.5 shots at minus 130 for him. And I do like Marchessault. I like him a touch better when he is with Jack Eichel, but at minus 143 for Marchessault, that's one that I like as well. I would say that point parlays are in play. You could do a Stone and Stevenson and Jack Eichel. You can do a JT Miller and Brock Besser. I think that the Golden Knights win the game tonight. I like Vegas this evening. I think that they'll snap out of this. You can get them at plus 105. It should be a good one. I kind of have a lean to the over. Plus money for that. It's not my favorite play. I don't love totals all the time, but I'm going to jump on the Vegas Golden Knights money line here. Okay, so that's basically, my favorite plays here. We can roll through a couple others. I did see Bet Rivers had a couple mispriced shot props tonight. Alex Tuck. We'll just timestamp here. Bear with me. Buffalo and St. Louis will go to. Alex Tuck at Bet Rivers is minus 129 for 3 shots. Unibet, he's minus 129 for 3 shots. DraftKings, Bet365, and BetMGM have him at 3.5. I think asking for 4 is a lot, but 2.5 for the Bet Rivers users over there. I think that one's all right. If you're a Bet Rivers user, or Unibet user, I think over 2.5 is fine. Paterka as well. We've been doing some Paterka. It's usually plus money, but I'm actually not seeing it. Interesting. Anybody see Paterka out there? He's not hurt, is he? Did he get hurt? Paterka. Not seeing it. Okay, not seeing a shot prop for him at the moment, but the St. Louis Blues give up a ton of shots. They give up a lot of shots at 5-5, and they kind of live in the box a little bit. There's some latest news on Tage Thompson. He still remains week to week there. So Paterka, 6 shots in his last game. Anybody? I think he's good if you can find him. Maybe DraftKings has him here. Yeah, DraftKings has him. Okay. No, sorry. Bet365 has him. Okay, he's plus 100. We'll get there. We're struggling. The struggle's real here today on a Thirsty Thursday. Plus 100, Bet365 for 3 shots. Like him. man, he's just the ice time is a massive jump. 18-29 the other night, played 20 minutes against Washington a couple games before that. He's had at least 2 shots. I mean, I know we want 3, but he's had at least 2 shots in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of his last 14. And he's cleared 2.5 in 2 of his last 3, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of his last 8. He's got goals in, man, he's basically been a point per game guy since October 27th. He's hit the score sheet in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of his last 15 games. He's got 3 multi-point games over that span, and he's got 7 goals over that span as well. So he's just playing really good. So Tuck, if you can get it 2.5, or Turka at Bet365, the plus money play at over 2.5, and he's minus 125 for a point, at BetMGM. So I think he's in a good spot. Robert Thomas, Buchnevich, those would be the guys that would go to on the Blues. I like Robert Thomas for an assist, but I'm not going to, Jordan Kyrou has been too inconsistent. Kyrou or Thomas's shot prop is like minus 200 for 2. So you can't do that, but minus 115 for an Apple is not too bad. Over to Minnesota and Nashville. Yeah, Thomas' assist has been nice. And I don't like to pay juice really for assist, but minus 115 is okay. Like we talked about Bouchard, minus 110. Pavel Zacha's plus 110 for the assists. We had Morrissey at plus 1 or minus 110 for the assist, but Robert Thomas at minus 115 here is not too shabby. As you said, Evan, it's been nice to you. He's playing some good hockey. He's getting leaned on, in terms of ice time, right? 23 minutes the other night. He's got 14 helpers on the season. And if you just go back and look at the last, for a point is a lot of juice, but he's over a point per game guy. You could go all the way back to, let's cross out the first 3 games of the season. He's had a point in 1, 3, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of his last 18 hockey games. He's picked up a point. And over that span, he's got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's got 13 assists. He did go through a stretch where he had a goal in 5 straight games, but he's more of a playmaker, a distributor than he is a shooter. But yeah, I like the assist. I like this too. Yeah, Nashville mini over 5.5. I think this is a definitely a good call. We did see the Wild win the game, the coaching boost. We talked about that, right? We said, as much as we didn't like Minnesota's game and the St. Louis Blues as dogs, Minnesota did come to play. I still think they have a lot of issues. I think, their penalty kill has been atrocious all year long. They haven't had good goaltending. I believe that Gustafsson is good. I think that he can turn this around, but I do have a lot of questions about Minnesota outside of their top line. I think the 5.5 is gone, Hammerhead, but you can always do alternate lines. For example, I'm fine with the 6-2. I think that, Nashville's been in some high scoring games too. Like UC Saros hasn't been as good as we're used to seeing. That top line in Nashville is really good. So you could just take over 6, at minus 110. I see minus 110. If it's 6, you get the push, but you could do 6.5 at plus 110 as well. But the alternate line's probably, I can get you a number here. We can go over to Bet365. You could do alternate stuff all you want. You just pay a little bit more juice, and at the end of the day, it's all about getting it right. So you can go over to the total here. This is a bit much actually for me. Minus 150 over 5.5. I'm not going to pay that kind of juice for a total, but I do think we'll see 6 goals. I'm fine with the 6 over 6 at minus 110. I think that one's all right. We're going to go back to Nyquist here. What we said Tuesday just kind of carried over. I don't want to sound like a broken record. I see a lot of the same people in here that were in here on Tuesday. That top line is good. Forsberg and Ryan O'Reilly, these guys are point per game players. And Nyquist is, ever since he's been placed on that line, he's been contributing. He's been picking up a point. So again, same thing applies that we talked about with Jared McCann. This is a first line player getting top line minutes and on the first power play and playing a team that's kind of leaky defensively. And Nyquist, oh man, he has extended his point streak. Was he go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, 9-game point streak, played 23 minutes the other night against the Penguins. The Preds have actually quietly won 6 straight hockey games. And they played to the over in a few of these games, 4-2, 4-3, 4-2, 8-3. And the last 2 have been 5 total goals. But I do like Nyquist for a point here tonight. I like Forsberg for 4 shots. Probably should have started with this one earlier. Forsberg is in. He's one of my favorite shot props. We'll regroup at the very end. We're almost there. We'll regroup at the end, and we'll hammer home the top 5 picks. But Nyquist for a point, Forsberg for 3 shots. I can't get a good feel on the Wild. I don't like to take Kaprizov. I don't know, man. Sometimes I just feel like he passes it off more than he shoots. So I think we like the over here tonight, and that's where I'm at. Welcome in, dude. Welcome in. Yeah, top line is firing. Okay, yeah, you grab the that's fine. Minus 135 is fine. Getting a little steep there, but still I don't mind it. I did a minus 135 the other night in the Oilers and the Golden Knights game, but yeah, 6 I think is still in play. I think we can still get that one if you want. Yeah, didn't realize how much money Thomas was making until a few weeks ago. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like himself making or him making you money, a little bit of both there potentially. Okay, what else did we not hit on here tonight? Chicago and Detroit. We go Chicago, Detroit. I do like the Brinkat, but there's a lot of juice. We'll do the shot prop juice parlay too, but we got to put him on the sheet. I mean, revenge or not. Man, it's just, I'm actually fine with the plus 135 4 shots for him tonight, actually. But he and I'm fine with the singles on. We'll regroup at the end. Let's continue. Let's just continue here. DeBrincat had 5 shots in his last game. He hasn't consistently been getting over 4. He does have 67 through 21 games. A lot of ice time for him tonight. Not sure if Larkin's ready to return or not, but either way, he's considered questionable. Not in the lineup last night. Considered questionable to play tonight. He's been shooting as well. Connor Bedard. We haven't talked about Bedard in a little bit. We had some fun with him earlier in the season when it came to shot props, and then it got too crazy and we just had to get away from it. But now I'm seeing minus 140 for Bedard to have 3 shots, and I'm interested. I'm intrigued. He just had the 1 in the last game against the Kraken, but what we talked about earlier, Seattle's a really good 5-5 team. They don't give up a whole lot. He did have 3 against the Blues. We talked earlier, the Blues do give up some shots. He had 6 against the Leafs. The Leafs, right, are a team that gives up some shots as well. So Connor Bedard, the minus 140 is over at DraftKings. I forgot to continue to write these games down. Chicago and Detroit. That's it. It's all. Oh yeah, Kurashev minus 135. I'm really running out of room on my sheet. Minus 135. Like that one quite a bit. It's in the bet tracker. Minus 135. Kurashev. Top line, just get nice time. Like those 2 guys. So it would be Bedard and Kurashev, and then it would be Alex DeBrincat. I know there's other guys filling in for Detroit in terms of ice time, like Copp and JT Compher. These guys hit the score sheet last night, but I'm not interested on a 14-game slate. Not gonna do it. What else do we have here that we didn't hit on? The Islanders and the Hurricanes. Man, what happened to Svechnikov the other night? He broke our hearts. I was all over him. Talked about him. At length. He led the articles like Svesh. He broke out the other night. And then I went to hockey, and then after I got off the ice and it's like, Svechnikov didn't hit. And then I didn't even realize he didn't play. I'm like, that's why I didn't hit. He was sick. He was a late scratch. He's back at practice today. That's the latest I'm seeing this morning. Back at practice. I think that's a good sign. I want to go back to him. He's entering on a 4-game point streak. He finally got the monkey off the back, scored a goal, his first goal. He's only played 12 games, recovering from the knee surgery. It's understandable, slow start. Daily faceoff, man, minus 160. Man, these shot props are just too insane. I have to put him into that's like him and DeBrincat. We'll figure out a shot prop parlay at the end. We'll have to do one because I think he gets 3 shots. And minus 134 point is pretty good. I know it's going to be Sorokin most likely. Islanders just give up a ton, man. And this is a big time mismatch when you look at analytics because nobody shoots the puck more than the illness is terrible for DFS. The basketball crew got into last night. It was on the 76ers too. Like last night was just a disaster on the 76ers and a late scratch for Embiid, and you just knew they weren't going to win the game. They got bounced. Svechnikov, I don't mind the point. From an analytical standpoint, the Hurricanes should put up like 50 plus for sure. I would say at 5-5. They may even flirt with like 70 shot attempts tonight. Nobody gets more shot attempts at 5-5 per 60 really than the Hurricanes. And the Islanders are man, they're giving it up. For example, they are number 1. They're actually worse than the Blue Jackets, Troy. 70 shot attempts allowed at 5-5 per 60. The New York Islanders, according to Natural Stat Trick, that is number 1. And the Hurricanes are number 1 in terms of shot attempts at 72. So this is both sides of it. My goodness. The Hurricanes allow the fewest shots and the Islanders allow the third most. The Hurricanes generate the most shots at 5-5 per 60. Want to talk about scoring chances. The Hurricanes, a lot of their shots are from the blue line and outside, but they're still inside the top 10 in scoring chances. And the Islanders are number 2 in allowing scoring chances. High danger chances, the Hurricanes are outside of the top 15. They're kind of in the middle of the pack, but the Islanders will give them up. They are number 6 in terms of allowing high danger chances as well. So expected goals against the Islanders are inside the top 5. The Blackhawks number 1, Sharks, Blue Jackets, Canadians, and the Islanders. And then expected goals for at 5-5 per 60. The Hurricanes are number 5. It goes Edmonton, Pens, Kings, Devils, and the Hurricanes. So this is a good spot for Carolina to rack up a couple shots. Let's see if we can find some value. Let's go to Bet365. Let's go to shots. What do we got here? So my favorite would be Svesh, but man, that's a lot. How about TiVo at plus 130? That one's interesting to me. I actually like Seth Jarvis a touch more than TiVo. He's plus 100. See if we can find a better number for Seth Jarvis. Plus 115 over at Bet Rivers for Seth. We gotta write this one down. This is a good one, I think, for us. The thing with the Carolina Hurricanes is they can get all the shot attempts they want, but they don't score a lot of goals. They don't seem to score a lot of goals on the road either. So I would lean with the shots. As I think they're okay in DFS, and I say this because I think rostering a goalie against the Hurricanes is a thing that a lot of people like to do. And I don't blame them. You know, when you have, let's see, you have a team that just generated so many shot attempts. Like we just had the numbers. For one, I think Sorokin is one of my favorite goalies to roster in DFS, and he usually comes in pretty chalky. Even on a 14-game slate, he'll probably come in like double-digit ownership percentage. And it makes a lot of sense, right? The Islanders give up a lot. He's fantastic. You know, he does what he can to kind of keep the Islanders in game. So the save bonus is always in play. I think he's still a decent goalie tonight in DFS. I like to have a goalie against the Hurricanes because of all those shots and because we just talked about the shots and the attempts are there, but the quality of the chances are not fantastic. Not inside the top 10, borderline. It's a lot of blue line shots, a lot of defensemen joining rush and just shooting from corners. Brendan Moore put the puck. Tell his boys, put the puck on now, no matter what. But there is something to be said about also stacking against the Islanders. You know, a little bit of leverage, a little bit. It's not crazy like DFS, but a little bit. If you know, a lot of people are going to roster Sorokin and he has a bad game, you got the Hurricanes there. It could kind of work out for you. But I'd be a little cautious. The Hurricanes, like I would never play them in cash. They're just a tournament play for me only. I'm not sure. Can we get a look of the lines? Let's see what we can do here. Rod Brennamore will switch this up all the time. Like I said, okay, so he already has, right? He's got Svechnikov penciled in on the fourth line. Like that's just not going to happen tonight. I don't know. My guess is I think he saw something, with Svesh in the 2 games ago in the third period, bumping Sveshnikov up on that top line with Aho and Jarvis. It got him going. They scored a game tying goal. They got the game winning goal. I think we could see TiVo up on that top line with Aho and Jarvis. We could see Svesh, with Kotkaniemi and Natchez, or we could see Svesh with Aho and Jarvis, and then TiVo with Kotkaniemi and Natchez. It's kind of a guessing game. I would say Bunting is the odd man out. He's outside of the top 6. And we're not putting Svesh can't be a fourth line player here. I would assume he's just penciled in because maybe he's taking line rushes with the fourth line as he's dealing with the flu here. But anyways, let's rank these Hurricanes players. We look at 5-5 shot attempts here for the Carolina Hurricanes, and it's mostly defensemen that are up near the top. But as of late, it has been Svesh. I mentioned the 11 attempts that he had the other night. I'd say I would rank them Svesh, Jarvis, Natchez, Aho, and then TiVo. Whew. Carolina's paying the card tonight, I think, right? We got a lot of comments here. What do we got? Hurricanes, Hurricanes in 7. Sorokin saves. Yeah, I mean, Hammerhead gets it, right? It's all the saves. Over by the second period. Islanders give it up in the third. Wow, we are Islanders haters on this show. Teuvo Teravainen shots plus 135. New York second last, I believe, in shots allowed. So yeah, they're right there. Defenseman also shoots. Sorokin saves. Is it Varlamov tonight? When I go to bet the save prop for this game, it's showing Varlamov. Okay. Yeah, Varley is it sounds like Varlamov. Nothing has changed, right? It doesn't matter. Varlamov is also a candidate for the save bonus and the save prop. What do we got? Probably should take a look at goalies a couple times throughout the show because this is right around the time where they get announced, at the morning skate, most likely. Varlamov's likely, Kochetkov likely on the other side there. That's fine. Everything applies. I think, you feel better about the Hurricanes. I like Carolina tonight. What do we got? What's the price for Carolina? We're gonna have to bounce here in a second. We got Mean Streets coming up. I know I've been definitely rambling. I'm sure like this show has been awful for you guys to listen to. My apologies. Hopefully we produce some winners at least. Yeah. Oh yeah. What am I smoking, man? Hurricanes are at home tonight. Holy crap. Get the bats. Okay. So Carolina tonight. Anyways, we'll move on from them. I like a lot of these shot props. It doesn't matter who's in net tonight. I would, like I said, I'll rank them Svesh, Jarvis, Natchez, Aho, and then TiVo. TiVo's in play. He's definitely I saw the comment there from Evan. Definitely probably the best bang for your buck. Although I really do like Natchez actually at minus 115. That's, what price, when we incorporate the prices, I think he's probably the best play. Minus 115 Natchez, but I really do think that Svesh gets involved too. All right. I think we got to go. I think we've hit on most here. Vetrano, I like the Washington and Ducks here. I like the Ducks to win the game. I know Washington played last night, and I wasn't super impressed. I know they've been getting good goaltending. Let's go with Vetrano here and Mason McTavish. Let's continue just to ride those two guys. Vetrano, the price is too crazy, but McTavish is plus 105 for 3 shots, and he's minus 135 for a point. So that's pretty solid. I don't know what's going on with Ovechkin, man. He does look really slow out there. I'm not even going to bother with the minus 360 for 4 shots. I'm not interested at all. I'm not going to get involved with any caps. I like McKinnon, 4.5 shots, minus 120 for Nate Dog. Also think, the 2-point night at plus 110 is in play. Just like Alex Tuck over at Bet Rivers, Valerie Nichushkin over at Bet Rivers for some reason is 2.5 at minus 134. So that's one that I like as well. I'll shy away from some of the Coyotes. I usually get involved with Lawson Krause or Clayton Keller, but the Avs are kind of stingy. Dallas and Calgary in there as well. I'll just timestamp the rest here. Man, We got a lot going on. I like Matt Duchene. Matt Duchene, we've talked about him all year. Minus 125 for a point. He's been awesome. He's been fantastic here for the Dallas Stars. I like the Stars to win the game. We talked about the Stars winning the game the other night on the money line. I forget who they were playing, but doesn't matter. Duchene has been good. More consistency in Dallas's game. Oh, it was the Jets. They won 2-0. Yeah. So Matt Duchene's, 17 points in 19 games, got 6 goals. He's got points in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of his last 9 games. He's got 3 multi-point games over that span, 4 goals over the span. He's actually shooting at 3 shots in his last game as well. I know we talked about Wyatt Johnson the other night, but I've really liked this Duchene and Seguin connection, and Hintz and Robertson and Pavelski, those guys as well. To get going here. Pittsburgh and Tampa. I would lean with Tampa here. I tend to shy away from some of these teams on the long road trip coming back home, but I would lean with Tampa to win the hockey game. I like Hagel to pick up a point, and I think we did it. I think we rolled through absolutely everything. Oilers road game sucks. Yeah. What do we got? Evan, I don't care that they aren't great yet, but I love watching this Ducks team play. I'm in Toronto. I stay up all night, 1 a.m. watching them. I don't care. You know what? I'm with you. I actually watch a lot of Ducks games as well. I have a soft spot for the Ducks. Growing up, I was definitely a Canadiens fan, still am, but the Ducks, with the Ducks movies, and when they came out, I was just obsessed with the logo and Paul Kariya and Timo Solani, and just loved these guys. And then it's carried over. I still like the Ducks, still like watching them play, and I like the players that they have. Like Mason McTavish is just he's a baller. I think he's going to be the future captain for the Ducks. It's unfortunate that Zegras has been hurt and Carlson's been in and out, but they really do have some skilled players, and Terry and man, Mason McTavish and for Vetrano is a really good duo. They got a lot of chemistry. I like watching them play too. They're fun. They give up a lot of quality chances, and they can generate some as well. They take a lot of penalties, but yeah, their games are extremely entertaining. Okay, so let's recap here. We're at the 56-minute mark. We're gonna recap and see what we got on the go for tonight. All right. In terms of sides, I got the Panthers in 60. I have the Panthers on the puck line. That's where I started in the tracker. Avs in 60, minus 140 over Arizona. I have the over between Winnipeg and the Edmonton Oilers at 6.5. I have the Devils on the money line. That's it. That's all I have out of all these games in the tracker. That's all I have. I do like Edmonton at minus 118. I know, we just talked about Oilers on the road maybe sucking, but I like where their game's at the moment. I like the over more, but I like Edmonton minus 118. I like the Hurricanes to beat the Islanders. I like the under in that game. I don't think we'll see a ton of offense, but I like Carolina to win that hockey game. And that's it. I said the Devils already. I think my upset, it's not a significant upset pick here, but I do like Vegas to beat the Vancouver Canucks. I like the Golden Knights there to go in and win the hockey game. And that's where I'm at for sides. Ducks money line is, that's not bad. You know what? I can get behind this one too. The Ducks money line with the Capitals playing last night, and I wasn't impressed with their game against San Jose, and they should have lost by like 3 or 4 goals last night. So it's a good call, Ryan. I like Anaheim tonight. You can actually, using the parlay calculator, I think you can get them plus money over at Caesars at plus 105. So the 2 dogs would be the late night crew, the late night games here with Vegas at plus money and Anaheim plus money. And but yeah, for me, the Panthers in 60, the Panthers puck line, I think they start strong. Canadians will be flat here after that road trip. So Florida tonight, Colorado in 60. I like the Oilers, but I definitely like the over Edmonton and Winnipeg. I like the under between Carolina and the Islanders, and I like Carolina to squeak it out. Vegas to win on the road, and then Anaheim money line as well at home. I this is certainly very, very possible. Boston and the Swayman shutout. I'm going to stay away from that game, but I think the under, like what's scary about the under is that the Bruins could just explode. but under 6, I think, is a pretty good play. I could see like a 3-0 victory for Boston. San Jose is not going to do a whole lot tonight. They're not going to put up a lot of quality chances against Boston. Boston's not playing great. They're going to figure this thing out tonight at home. Maybe it's a 3-0 game, a 4-1 game. I don't think we'll see like an 8. What we've seen from the Sharks games, like we've seen a lot of blowouts. I don't think we'll see that. But I think we'll see Boston in the under in that game. Yeah, Leafs and Kraken under. Yeah, I said that. I mentioned that earlier. I think when we dove into that game, 6.5. Seattle doesn't score a whole lot of goals. They're pretty stingy at 5-5. Yeah, I would lean to the under on that one for sure. Okay, so let's do a couple shot props here. Sam Bennett, Brennan Montour. Sam Bennett, Brennan Montour, these guys, that's where I've started my day with Florida shot props as singles that you can take. I like Cam Atkinson and Jack Hughes. Both of those guys. We'll skip the juice guys for now, and we'll do like maybe a shot prop juice parlay towards the end. Well, I mean, we're pretty much towards the end. We've gone super long. I have to cancel Main Streets. Okay, so I like Bedard as a single, -140, 2.5 shots. Connor Bedard in there as well. So we're trying to narrow it down to like a 5 to 7 to get you guys the winners. So I'm gonna write them down myself here. Bennett 1, Montour 2, Hughes 3, Atkinson 4, Pasta is 5. Okay. I like Natchez. We'll have to do Svesh and a parlay. I like Natchez. I like Evander Kane. That one's actually plus money, 3.5. If you can for the Bet Rivers users, Nichushkin 2.5 and Tuck 2.5. Like those would be my top 10. I'm not doing 3.5s, but I don't know what's going on at Bet Rivers, what they're smoking, what they're drinking here on a Thirsty Thursday. But 2.5 for those at those two books. It doesn't get much better than that. Forsberg, 3.5. Yes, we got Natchez in there, Forsberg in there, Kane. Just like, can you read your writing? What is going on today? Nate. Every time I say, I'll take a drink. Thirsty Thursday. Brock Besser. I like Brock Besser, but he probably doesn't fit in the 2. Okay, so we got Bennett, Montour, Hughes, Atkinson, passes 5, Natchez is 6, Kane is 7, Nate Dogg is 8, and we'll go. Let's see. We'll go Besser. Yeah, Ekblad's a good one, but I got so much invested in Florida as well. I think we're good with just that, right? Yeah, we'll go Bennett, Montour, Jack Hughes, Atkinson, Pasternak, Nate Dogg, Natchez, Evander Kane, and then I think that's fine. We'll add Marchessault to this list, and then we're right there. Okay, so those are the shot props that I think you can take as singles. Oh yeah, Forsberg, that's 10. Man, I can't believe you guys are actually still hanging out and bearing with me here. So here's the 10 in no particular order: Bennett, Montour, Jack Hughes, Atkinson, Pasternak, Natchez, Evander Kane, Philip Forsberg, Nate McKinnon, and Jonathan Marchessault. For the Bet365 for the Bet Rivers users, we got Tuck and Nichushkin. Decent prices. Okay. We did that. Let's head out over to DraftKings. Continue to hang out. Everyone's hanging out. We're gonna get some winners today. We're fixing cars. Let's head on over to DraftKings. You think I'd be more prepared? I just joined. Is that all your bets you're listing? Yeah. Those are my favorite ones. I mean, there's 14 games. We're trying to narrow it down to a couple winners here, but those are the single shot props that I like. Those are the 10. Yeah, those are the 10 that I like here. But there's a couple other juice that I wanted to give some people, and we're going to wrap up here with a couple that you can put into a parlay. So we're going to go to Bedard actually at minus 140 is pretty good. So we're going to go DeBrincat. 2.5 is minus 175. We can't take it as a single. We're going to go Carter Verhaeghe. He's moved. Carter Verhaeghe in some spots 2.5. You can get behind that one. He's moved. So we'll bypass that one. We're going to go to Carolina with Svechnikov at minus 160. We got to get involved in that one. And we'll go to actually that alone right there. Like, okay, so DeBrincat, there's one for you. We'll just do these in like 2 like parlays. DeBrincat and Svesh, 3 shots each. That one's plus 155. Let's go to Anaheim. We want to get Vetrano in our life, minus 175 at 2.5 shots. We'll get that one, and then we'll do one more here to include them. I think it's going to be William Nylander at 3.5 at minus 150. Svechnikov is sick. He skated today. Maybe you keep an eye. You wait. I know books will they could void it. I know, like in tickets that he was in with me on the other day, void if it's a single, easier said it's definitely voided. But most books will void if it's in a parlay. But I think he does suit up tonight. He practiced. So we talked earlier about the Hurricanes, and we like Natchez, we like Aho, and we like Svesh, like Seth Jarvis in there as well. Ekblad's a good one, plus money for him on the power play. It's a good one. So Vetrano and William Nylander would be the other one, and that one is at plus 161. Yeah, the other day I took it and they voided it. Unfortunately, it was just like a late scratch. Not sure what was going on there. Okay, so I think we did it. We got a lot of shot props. We got a lot of goal scorers here. Look for the article at ftmbets.com at Chris Meaney. You can follow me on Twitter. We will have like the 3 favorite prop plays in there with a couple bonus plays, but it's a lot of what we've already talked about. And the upset of the night, I mean, it's not a huge upset, but I mean, I like Vegas at plus money. I like the Ducks at plus money at home. Those are the 2 teams that I like. Also like the Dallas Stars. I didn't really reference them too much, but I like the Stars to go into Calgary and win the game. But the upsets would be Vegas and it would be Anaheim. Not really feeling any other upsets here. The money line play, Crusader, if you're just jumping in here, we like Florida in 60. We like Florida on the puck line. We like the New Jersey Devils money line. Like the over between Edmonton and Winnipeg. I like the Avs in 60, and I'm riding with the Stars. But the money line plays, they're not big upsets. They're daily handle, but Vegas and Anaheim would be the 2 teams that I like. I'm going to give you guys 5 goal scorers. 5. Tyler Toffoli for the New Jersey Devils. Carter Verhaeghe for the Florida Panthers. Let's see. I like Nichushkin for the Colorado Avalanche. I like Evander Kane for the Edmonton Oilers. And then the 5th one for me, I'll have to head to another game that I think we'll see the over, Vegas and in Vancouver. I like Jack Eichel. Okay. Yeah, I think this is a good play. Puck line. Just because Florida's going to come out hot. They're waiting for Montreal to play last night on the road. They had a lengthy road trip out west. So I think we'll see Florida come out hot tonight. And even if at any moment Montreal jumps up to a lead, I would live bet the Panthers if you weren't drinking the juice on them in 60 already or in on the puck line. Since we're still going, there's people hanging out. DFS line stacks for me. I like that second line in Florida. Kachuk, Bennett, Carter Verhaeghe with Brandon Montour. I like the Devils' entire power play. The first unit to Foley, Hughes, Bratt, Heischer, Luke Hughes. I'm really drinking New Jersey's Kool-Aid here. Boston's going to be chalky, but that top line with Pasta, DeBrusk, and Zaka in there. McAvoy you can include. I like New Jersey. I like Dallas line 1, Hintz, Pavelski, and Jason Robertson. Colorado's power play, the entire power play, pretty chalky in there. And I like that new look line for the Golden Knights and Mark Stone, Jack Eichel, and Chandler Stevenson. The Penguins' first power play, Gensel, Brian Russ, Sidney Crosby. I would put Carlson in there if you can afford to. And I think what could be sneaky tonight is the Ducks as well, with Mason McTavish and Frank Virgiano as well. The goalies that I would ride with, again, we talked about goalies against the Carolina Hurricanes. I think that Varlamov is in play. Also, like Jake Ottinger and Connor Ingram, I think is a decent punt at 7-1. Could get the save bonus there for you. And I think Vasilevsky at 8-1 as well. And Schmid is okay. He's the Flyers have been putting some pucks towards the goal. I like the Devils to win the game, and his price is all right at 7-9. But I think he's a better play over at FanDuel. I think he's basically min price there over at FanDuel. So, oh man, there's a lot. I think for me as an analyst, I think it may be one of the worst shows I've ever done. We've gone well over an hour, and we had 14 games to dive into, and hopefully I just gave you guys a couple winners there. Good luck tonight on the ice. There was a couple of point props that, Zaka for the assist, Thomas the assist, McCann point, Nyquist point. There's a lot there. Appreciate you guys taking time to hang out. Next episode, I will not be solo. I'll get some sort of guest. We'll have to get George or someone to join me. It's hard with the amount of games on the board. It is tough. Yeah, it is tough. We'll just drink some bats and watch the money pile up, and we'll fix cars. Have a good one, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.